Okay, let's just get straight to it. There is a massive, and I mean massive, paradox happening right now with AI in small businesses. On one hand, you've got adoption that is just through the roof. But on the other, almost no one is actually making any money from it.
So on the surface, everything looks great, right? 58% of small businesses in the US are now using generative AI. It's officially gone mainstream.
But here's the number that should really keep you up at night. Of all those businesses using AI, a staggering 59% are not seeing a single dollar of revenue from it. Zero.
And this is the most crucial point to understand. This is not an AI problem. The technology works, we know that. This is a strategy problem. So you have all these businesses paying for tools, spending hours on prompts, and they have absolutely nothing to show for it, except for this nagging feeling that they should be getting way more out of it.
So in this explainer, we're going to break all of that down. We're going to talk about the AI revenue problem, we'll diagnose what we're calling the dabbling epidemic, then we'll lay out the 3 levels of AI maturity, give you a 5-step plan to go from dabbling to deploying, and we'll finish with the real payoff.
So this is the AI revenue problem in a nutshell. There is this huge gap between simply using AI and actually profiting from it. And that's exactly where most businesses are getting completely stuck.
And that leads us right into the dabbling epidemic. This is all about recognizing these inefficient patterns of using AI that feel productive, but honestly, they're just going nowhere. So as I go through these next few slides, I want you to ask yourself if any of these sound, well, a little too familiar.
First up, we've got the random question asker. This is the person who treats ChatGPT like it's just a fancier Google. You know, they get stuck, so they ask it to write an email or brainstorm a tagline. But every single time, the conversation starts from scratch. There is no system, no knowledge that builds on itself. It's Groundhog Day. Next, you've got the person stuck in the copy-paste loop. Now, they found 1 or 2 things that AI does pretty well for them, like maybe drafting social media captions. So they copy their text in, copy the result out, and paste it where it needs to go. And look, it probably saves them an hour a week, and that's great, that's real time. But it is a tiny, tiny fraction of what's actually possible, and deep down they know it.
And finally, there's my personal favorite, the shiny object chaser. This is just pure chaos. They're trying a new AI tool every single week. They've got like 8 different subscriptions, but absolutely 0 connected workflow. None of the tools talk to each other, their monthly bill just keeps climbing, and the actual business output, it stays completely flat.
And this is the great illusion of progress. You see a stat like 74% of businesses say AI boosts productivity. And you know what? They're right. It feels productive. But productivity without a system is just organized busy work. It doesn't magically turn into revenue.
Let me put it this way, because this is the fundamental difference. Dabbling with AI is like opening up Excel and just typing random numbers into cells. What do you get? Random outputs. It's useless. But building an AI system, well, that's like building a financial model. It's a real workflow, specifically designed for a specific business outcome. The tool only matters when it's part of a system.
Okay, enough about the problem. Let's pivot and talk about the solution. And that is understanding the 3 levels of AI maturity. This is the real path to getting an actual ROI. It breaks down just like this. Level 1 is using AI as an assistant. This is where almost everybody is. You ask it questions, it gives you answers. Level 2 is using AI as a tool. So you have a few specific manual tasks where AI saves you some time. But level 3? Level 3 is AI as a system. This is where the revenue is. This is where AI starts to operate as a key part of a bigger automated process that runs with you barely touching it. So what does a level 3 system actually look like in the real world? We're not talking about writing one email here. We're talking about an automated sales pipeline that qualifies your leads and literally puts meetings on your calendar for you. We're not talking about one social media post, but a content multiplication engine that can turn one single idea into 20 different pieces of content, all tailored for different platforms. This is where the real game-changing stuff happens.
So, the big question is, how do you actually get there? Well, this brings us to the actionable part, going from dabbling to deploying. And let me be clear, this is not about buying more tools. It's about changing how you think about the ones you already have.
So here's the 5-step plan. Number 1, audit your repeatable tasks. I mean it, write down everything you do more than once. 2, map the workflow out on paper before you even touch a single piece of software. 3, build one system and build it completely. Get it running reliably from end to end before you even think about starting another one. 4,
connect your systems. That's where you get that amazing compound value. And 5, this is the most important one, invest in systems thinking. The tools are going to change, but that skill, that'll last forever.
All right, let's talk about the bottom line, the real payoff, because we really need to look at the uncomfortable math of what happens if you do nothing, if you just keep on dabbling.
So the data from organizations that are actually using AI systems shows that they can cut their manual work and operational costs by at least 30%. And this isn't some guess. This is a measured, real-world average. So what does 30% actually mean for you? Well, if you're a founder and you're working, say, 50 hours a week, a 30% reduction gives you 15 hours back every single week. And if you look at that over a year, those 15 hours a week add up to 780 hours. That is the equivalent of nearly 20 full work weeks. Think about that.
So I'm just going to ask you directly, what would you do with 20 extra weeks a year? That is the real opportunity cost of dabbling. That is what is actually at stake here.
Ultimately, the goal here is to stop being just an AI user, someone who just operates the tools, and start becoming an AI architect, someone who actually designs the systems that produce real business outcomes.
And you know, the difference between those two roles, it's not about being more technical. It's about learning how to think in systems. So if you're ready to make that shift and you want a guided path with some real frameworks, you should check out AI for Founders. It's a class that's literally built around this exact progression, moving you from that dabbling level 1 stage to building real revenue-generating systems at level 3. You can find it at aiforfounders.io/class.